Episode 5 of Season 2, The Orville. An episode that, from the preview, didn't look as good, but then they proved themselves again. So, what's the big breakout of the episode? They introduced the new Selayan, who is Alara's replacement. And you can see her there. I'll probably know her name eventually. So let's get on to the recap. Hit the ding. Episode opens up on a strange planet which we don't know of. People talking about how they're keeping them some secret from their people, and we'll just do it anyways. And they're sending in a message and they're asking, "Is anybody out there?" And then we get to the planet, or back to the ship, and they're meeting the new guard, the new Selayan. She was apparently fired from her last job because she punched her captain in the face because they ran into a species of alien who only respect women, and they needed help, so she punched her captain in the face, and the captain didn't like that very much. Ed asked her to please warn her if she's going to punch him. Then they get a message. Back on the bridge, they get the message that, hey, they found something. Kelly walks over to Bortus and asks him, and says, "Hey, it's my birthday this week, and I noticed it's your birthday next week. Do you want to celebrate your birthday? Want to have a dual party?" He doesn't want a dual party because he doesn't want to have people give less gifts to him. Everybody on the ship is happy about first contact. They all get ready for it. And they go down to the planet after talking with the prime minister of that planet, the leader or whatever they call him. They land. Everything's happy, hunky-dory. They're all smiling. Ed and Kelly joke around a little bit about how they should use different names, and they chicken out in the last second. And they get to see their array. Ed, Kelly, and Bortus, while the new girl and the doctor go to the hospital and look at how their medical thing is doing. They're the best medical situation in the area. But something is wrong. For some reason, babies are being born early and being taken early. C-sections. She asks why. He says it's because we don't want them to be Chilean. What I've noticed over this last season? Seth must have something with the word ja, because everything, Jaloja, Chilean. He must like that word when he's thinking of stuff. It's like me with my characters. I mostly make them make a roar sound because they're supposed to be roaring. Then at dinner, he did a nice speech. Ed gives a speech which he says he stole from different things when he blended them all together. And they asked the new girl to show them the strength of the Selans that she shows them by bending that candlestick. Kelly brings up the fact that it's their birthday and it's a nice present to be first contact, and they all freak out. They take her and Bortus because she admits it's both their birthdays, and they take them. They arrest the doctor, Ed, and the Selayan, and then we go to them in prison. They're talking about what happened, and then the doctor tells Ed that they've been taking babies early, risking both the child and the mother's health. And then they come in and they go to say they want Ed to open his mouth and hold the weapon up to him. She doesn't like that. She grabs him, holds him up by his neck, and starts choking him. Basically, what I want to do to every single one of these characters on this planet. They go over and they extract a piece of tooth, like a dental thing, from the 3 characters who are in prison. They tell them that, hey, we found out what your birthday was by doing this, and you're not Chilean. Apparently, that is their astronomical sign, and that's a bad one. They put people with those signs in prison. We cut to Kelly and Bortus, who are going into the prison. And they meet this asshole. Somebody who... Yeah, I would have preferred the episode a lot better if he died. I would have been killed at this place, because I would have told him that I was going to shove the gun up his ass or in his mouth at some point. Or when he wanted me to say that I was garbage, I would have just looked at him and said, "You are garbage." They try to fight back, but they get attacked because, the people at this prison thing are Don't fight fair, little wimpy. Back on the ship, the admiral, who is the Michael in the Good Place, tells them that just because it's first contact, they can't risk it by going in there guns blazing to get Kelly and Bortus out. If this was in the universe, I would have so failed being a captain, because I would have told the guy that well, if you don't give us tell us where our people are, we'll scan to make sure they're not in this area, and then we'll just blow this whole city up, and we'll move on to the next city until we find who they are, until we find them. You got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to say. You can either tell your people that we let 2 Jillians go, or you can tell your people that you saved the planet, and you don't want us coming back here. We'll make a note not to come back here, and I might let it slide to the krill that, hey, here's a planet of people that can't defend themselves. Put it in some codes. But that's why I would have failed that captain's exam like Gordon did. Bortus and Kelly talk in prison about their predicament. Bortus makes himself a bitch. A guy pretends that he's the big fish in the pond, and Bortus walks up to him and lets him know that he's not the big fish anymore. The guy trying to steal food from a pregnant lady. We meet pregnant lady and her husband. They're talking about how we shouldn't escape because it's for the good of our people. The dumbass tells his people that it's horrible that this month is going to be for anybody born to be instantly taken and sent to prison for the good of society. After his dumb video, Ed comes in because he's come down to the planet, tries to do things diplomatically to get Kelly and Bortus back. He says there's no way of doing that because he doesn't want his people letting know that he let Jillians go. She lets him know that he's a moron and all of his people are stupid. In no few words. He says he's not going to let him go. Apparently they've been there for over a month now, and the Admiral says that the Orville needs to get back to their regular schedule. Ed calls an emergency meeting at the bridge, and they all try to come up with something, and they've tried everything and they can't. She's reading about the people and how they worship the stars and everything, and she looks out, and she thinks of a plan, kind of like the house style of thinking. Well, the new month has started, and these people who are born after the Jillians are the leaders, so it's this asshole's month. But pregnant lady is now giving birth, which is a bad thing, because her baby will be taken from her now. Back on the ship, new girl tells Ed that, hey, I have an idea. We need to scan the star system. They scan the star system, they find out that the star 3,000 years ago in that system blew up, turned into a black hole, and that's why these people hate the Jillians. Back at the prison, they hide the baby, but there's a surprise bed check, and the husband turns against the mother and says, hey, the baby's under there, because he wants his daughter to have a good life and not the shitty one of a prisoner in hiding. Bortus and Kelly decide that, hey, it's under first contact protocol for us to act like they want us to act. So they decide they want to break out. Back on the ship, Gordon and John tell everybody how they're going to do it, how they're going to trick the people on the planet. They attach a thing to the ship, to a little travel ship. They go out and they shoot it off into the area where the star is, so it looks like from the ground that the star has returned. Kelly and Bortus do some prisoner escape stuff, and they take some ass, take some names, blah 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 blah, explosions, but they get stopped at the gate by asshole. Gordon and John fly out and set the thing up and send it off. Kelly and Bortus are tied up. They're going to be killed by firing squad. John and Gordon set off this disc, which kind of reminds me of the thing that Count Dooku used to move his ship in episode 2. And they're about to fire, but somebody stops and yells that the Jillian star has returned. Moron and his cronies look up and say, oh, how could it be? We were wrong. We were dumbasses. And then it cuts back to the ship, and they're throwing a birthday party, the joint party that Bortus had agreed to when they were in prison. She thanks Ed for helping him out. He says he wouldn't have left them behind. And he tells New Girl, and he says it's all New Girl's idea, and that she's now an official member of the crew, and she could punch him anytime. And that was the end of the episode. From the preview, I thought this episode was going to be boring. I enjoyed the episode. It got my emotionals because, as I said, I wanted to punch the people on that planet, and I would have sent a message in Krill to that empire saying, hey, here's a planet you need to take over. But, I'm an a-hole. But besides that, I like episodes that do that, make you think, make you see that what you do in this situation. I used to do that with the Star Trek episodes all the time. I enjoyed the episode. I liked the New Girl. She'll, since they're writing the same thing, basically, to just replace the character without replacing the actor, like they do on soap operas. So, I'll probably end up liking her the same way I liked Alara. And thanks for watching. Tell me what you thought of the episode in the comments below, and have a good one.